So a while back, Alex Clark made a video about why he doesn't like fireworks, and basically what he said was that his first two experiences with fireworks were so lame and so boring that it just made him completely disinterested in them. Now the first two experiences I had with fireworks were the complete opposite of lame, but not in a good way, not in a good way at all. So the first time just involved one of those simple sparklers that you hold in your hand, and I was pretty young, like really young, probably around 3. And you know it's bad when you were 3 years old and can still vividly remember exactly what happened. And when you're that young, it's not like you've had past experiences with fireworks and know exactly how they work. So I'm standing there holding this lit sparkler. I have no idea what's going on. Next thing I know, I'm burning the skin off of my hand and my arm. I'm not sure how the sparkler got into that position in the first place, but as a 3-year-old, fire from a sparkler against your bare skin is gonna hurt quite a bit. It kinda scared me for a short period of time too. Every time someone would come near me with a sparkler, I'd be like, whoa, chill, you gotta get that thing far away from me. So for the first time, already not off to a good start. The second time, it was even worse. It's probably only about a year after the sparkler incident, and my parents took me to this huge open field to see a fireworks show. So the show starts, the first firework goes up, and I'm like, dang, okay, this is pretty cool. And I remember specifically thinking, I didn't know they were supposed to be this close. And that's because they weren't supposed to be that close. I don't know who was in charge of setting them off, but they had their distances and measurements all the way messed up. So they had shot off a few full fireworks, and then they started coming down. Since they were shot off way too close to the crowd, or maybe they pointed it in the wrong direction, or I don't know what was going on with them, but it literally started raining fireworks. They had stopped firing them off once they realized the commotion they had caused. There's chaos going on everywhere. But think about how long it takes a firework to shoot all the way up and then fall all the way down. So in between that time, they had shot off like 15 more. All those start coming down. Basically, it was raining fireworks for days. And there was this moment of realization among everyone there, like, this is really happening right now. People didn't know what to do. There's people hiding under blankets, running away, hiding under blankets while running away. Everybody's yelling, there's chaos everywhere. I can imagine how confused somebody would be who's watching this from a distance, but luckily we all made it out of there unharmed. But now we're 0 for 2 for firework experiences. I'm not too fond of these things. Now fast forward to just a few years ago, and by this time I've fully recovered from the previous firework trauma in my life. So it's New Year's Eve and my friend tells me he's having a party that night. So I show up, and the first thing I notice is there's hella fireworks laying out. It's like they went to the store, pointed at the shelves, and said give me your whole stock, and then also order a whole nother truck. Okay, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm looking around at the amount of people at this party and the amount of fireworks I see in front of me, and the math just isn't adding up. At first thought though, this many fireworks could only be a good thing, right? So we end up going through most of them, and at the very end, there was just a huge pile of sparklers left over. I see people crowded around it doing something with them, so I walk over, and this one kid has an empty soda can that he cut the top off of, and just starts rapid fire stuffing these sparklers inside of it. I'm like, so what's going on over here? They're like, well, look at all these extra sparklers. We don't want them to go to waste, so we're about to make a sparkler bomb. I'm like, bet. Me, and probably everyone else there, isn't thinking about what could go wrong. This sparkler bomb just sounded like something that we had to do. I guess previously they had already lit just a straight box of sparklers, and an entire stream of sparks just shot out the end of the box and almost hit this girl. So basically, we said let's do that again, but with more. So we get this soda can with all these sparklers stuffed into it, and then around that we wrap a ton of tin foil. So we take this thing outside of the street, set it down, and it always seems like in these types of situations, there's always that one kid trying to play fire marshal and take matters into his own hands. And it probably wasn't that bad in this situation because we were all standing like 10 feet away from a metal can stuffed with sparklers and layers of aluminum foil wrapped around it that we were about to light on fire. But he's like, everybody get back, everybody get back. Nobody is listening to him though. And the other thing is, like, out of the 10 of us, not one person thought to bring any water out in case stuff went haywire. So everyone is standing like 10 feet away from this thing. We've completely thrown all protocol out the window at this point. And these two guys take lighters and try to light it on fire. Now anything could have happened here. Flames could have flown out of it, sparklers could have shot out in any direction. Nobody knew what to expect. And at first, the whole thing just kind of sat there. It's like this flaming ball. I start getting like flashbacks of fireworks raining down on me. And then it made this massive whoosh sound, and this huge flame just shot straight up into the air. half of us are standing there mesmerized, the other half of us are dipping out of there because we're not trying to die today. But luckily, nothing flew out of it, no flames like shot out and burned somebody. But this giant flame stayed in the air for a good amount of time, probably like a few seconds, and then it slowly came back down. We walk over to see the remnants of this thing. The tinfoil is completely disintegrated, the can is basically disintegrated, you can't even tell the sparklers are supposed to be sparklers anymore. And I guess the whole thing had given off so much energy that it burned a hole into the street and the tinfoil just got melted into the pavement. I happened to pass by the spot a few years later and the melted aluminum was still baked into the ground. It goes to show the amount of pure energy that was just packed into that thing. So I'm not suggesting anything, but if you ever happen to have some extra fireworks laying around and have nothing else to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I don't really have a whole lot to say except for that I'm almost out of school for the summer. So hopefully I might be able to get a few more extra videos out. Just remember to like the video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.